going to go over some of the functions of the Zoll X-Series monitor that you will be using in the paramedic program. First, I'd like to talk about where all the cables are located. Here on this side, we have the EKG cable as well as the pulse oximeter cable, which are stowed away, as well as the NIBP cuff are all stowed away in this pocket. Over here on this side, we have the defibrillation cable, and that is stowed away in there. Don't worry about this extra pouch on this side. If you move to the back, on this side here, we have end-tidal CO2 detectors, as well as the 12-lead cable. The 12-lead cable then connects in line with the EKG cable. If you need to check the battery, we have the battery right here. You can press this button, which will then show you your battery life to make sure that you have a good battery before you begin your scenario. Turn on the monitor. We press the power button right here. Hold it down for a second. Lights come on, and it runs through a series of self-checks. So here we have the screen. As you can see, there's plenty of information on the screen here. If you ever find yourself on a screen and you need to get back to this home screen, you can be somewhere and you can press this little home button right here. It will take you back to the original screen. Okay? If you press the home button again, it can show you your EKGs, but it'll also show you your trending vital signs. You can press it a third time, and you can get just a BLS vital signs screen. Pressing it a fourth time will cycle it back to its main screen. On the main screen, we have your EKG here in green. Down below, we have our heart rate. Next to this is the blue NIBP. This would be showing you where the blood pressure is. If you need to cycle a blood pressure, you can press the cycle blood pressure cuff button right here. If you need to get respirations or SpO2, you must have the SpO2 detector attached to the patient. You will see your respirations here in purple and your SpO2 in yellow here. If you need to change leads, you can go up to this upper left-hand button. If you notice, none of these are labeled. They're called soft buttons, and they do whatever it shows here on the screen adjacent to the button. As you can see, we are looking at pads at the moment. If I cycle it, we are now looking at lead 1, lead 2, lead 3, AVR, AVL, and AVF. And then we cycle back to pads. If you need to defibrillate this patient, we're going to go to the energy select button, and you can press up or down. It will then default to 120 joules. If you need to select a different joule rating, you can then move that up or down. When you find the joule rating that you need, you can press the charge button, wait for the machine to charge. If at any point you need to disarm the machine or you do not want to shock, change the energy select button. It then cancels the shock, though no shock is delivered. But let's say we do want a shock, we can then charge up. Make sure the patient is clear, and then we press the red shock button, and the shock is delivered. If you need to synchronize CardioVert, we have a little button the soft button right here next to the sync will allow you to toggle on. As you can see, it says sync. You now also have S's and little arrows over each QRS. This tells you that it is identifying the QRS and that it is synchronized with the flashing green showing the heart rate. You can then energy select and charge, and then make sure the patient is clear. And when you press it, you want to press and hold until the shock is delivered. It may not be immediate because it is waiting for the next QRS to occur. If you need to do pacing, the green pacer button is right here. You press, my apologies, you press the home button to return to the home screen. You can then press the pacer button. It then brings up the pacer menu and the pacer display. It starts as demand. You can then go up to the rate and set the rate. You can then start with an output of 30, 40. You can even go down to 10 if you need to. And then you can press Start Pacer. If you press the home button at this point, you can see the pacing menu here, and you should be able to scroll down with these up and down arrow keys until you select the pacer menu. If you press the little select button, you then get that pacer menu back. You can then change the output in a stepwise fashion until you gain capture. If you need to turn off the pacer, you then can select to move to the outside section, Move down to turn off pacer, or you can even pause pacer if necessary. If you turn off the pacer, it then returns to the normal monitoring mode. That is all the main functions that you will need to use in scenarios here at the Paramedic program. Thank you very much.